time. Definitely could be a case where just one team decides that's, it's fine. I don't want to ban that. Like, we saw last match where we think there's the must ban and all of a sudden it kind of flips around on you when you think you can predict it. We'll see what this is going to start with from Empire, though. There goes that Maverick ban. So that is not a surprise, just because you do want to make sure that you can at least hold the cash wall for as long as possible. But the other attacker here will be the more interesting part. Oh. And that's going to be against...
It makes sense.
Against Joystick. At this point, I think he's just going to have... This is like Hungry and Ying, right? Where you're just going to have to give up and play a different operator. But I have to say, he hasn't been nearly as consistent on Jackal as he was on Ashe, so I can understand that being a useful ban.
The Echo will be removed here on the defense by Team Secret, so what will Empire do is going to be Valkyrie. Mira actually removed. Understandable. Mira is a very powerful operator here on at least 2 of the sites. Well, the 2 most played ones, I guess. When it comes to... Excuse me. When it comes to the bedroom, we usually see Mira being set in a way where you're holding the... how do you say it? The cache vault, and at the same time using another mirror window inside of the bathroom with a half-reinforced wall on there. So these are usually strategies, but they're not that strong.
It's more Church that tended to benefit from that in the past, and I feel like most teams are used to playing Church while fully closed, so it's not a huge hit.
Which is why, you're like, was the Mira ban completely worth it? On Clubhouse, it can be debated.
This is interesting. So, foregoing the Thatcher of all things with your 2 hard breachers on what is cash, which they may or may not know, to bring a Glass. That is a big gamble. Now, you're going to have 2 pretty deadly DMRs between Dokkaebi and Glass, and then 2 hard breachers to open up those angles, along with the soft breacher of Lucky on Zofia. So, it's going to come down to getting those angles opened up, but if Shockwave can do a good enough job on his bandit tricking, it could be the case where Lackey's job is going to be going below into the lunge and just opening up below to make sure that those batteries can't be there and that he can't play it. If they can successfully do that, this is doable. If not, this is going to be one of those pushes that really gets stuck in the middle of that construction connector that you can see on the right-hand side there between cache and the bedroom.
Yeah, and Scyther is going to set up his Evil Eye inside of construction. Actually, this one is fairly easy to spot, but if you put your Evil Eye down on the floor next to those paint cans, thank you, Marcio. If you put it down there, teams are not really going to spot it. And it actually, most of the time, is going to net you at least 1 thermite charge destroyed before the attackers realize what's going on.
Yeah.
So this sort of trickery, it might be worth it to use an Evil Eye in a position like that, especially if Karjeka is going to be playing the dock in this case, so he's going to have the bulletproof camera to run, and I would assume that Scyther's second Maestro camera is in the garage to support Karjeka in his endeavors. We've seen that huge pick rate of the dock, mostly for those bulletproof cameras.
Well, we'll see, this is going to be the important part of the play here, is making sure that this Glass is able to clear the garage. And if they're clearing the garage, that usually means they're going to be going for a push onto the cache wall if they get open. But Joystick take it down early. Karjeka trading it back. Not bad. That's the Glass down. That's not a bad initial kill. Now they just need to pick at least one of the hard breachers off to make sure this is something they can defend a little bit better. But Garage remains in their control.
Is this trade, though, worth it? You lose the Glass to the Jaeger.
It's worth it for Empire, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Shockwave is going to take a bit of damage as Leon is going to try to come in from below. Now, you mentioned this. It's very important to deal with those bandit batteries from below, and Shockwave is going to get a lot of damage done to him. But will it be enough? There you go. I think we heard the thermite there opening up the wall. And yeah, that's exactly what they needed. The second wall is still bandited, but who cares? That's all that you required.
They do have the 1 rotation hole that goes to the deployable shield they can use to try and get back into sight and defend that hole, because Karjeka will be on an ACOG, which looks like he's rotating to do potentially, but at the same time, that means giving up Garage. Now they're opening up underneath him as well. This is where a lot of pressure on him. You can see, though, he still has some charges left on the ADS, if not both, to try and stop any kind of attempts to do anything with at least flashes to push him. So this is going to be tricky. If he can hold this position the entire time, he may be put in a good clutch. But you see a lot of people dying by those rotation holes they set up from the breach holes. 2 people pushing here, unfortunately. Does not work out for Karjeka. He is down, but Lackey not being finished off means he can get right back up. This is falling apart a bit here for Empire, despite the trade on the Glass.
Now, 48 seconds on the clock. Still a lot to work with for Secret, but Lackey, I'm not sure if he still has any Gishmots or concussions available. There you go, he still has one. So the offensive is definitely doable. Shockwave's gonna miss, and he's running barbed wire. So the Bandit can't actually go for a C4 play. There's definitely something that will not be too helpful later on, as the Smoker Shepherd will miss, and Leon just peeking on through. He gets shot, and he can't really deal with the Maestro here from Scyther, who just sprays and fights 3 in a row, dive right onto Scyther. No information, no time play, all for Empire.
Definitely. That is the unfortunate part of it. Unfortunately, it looks like there also might have been a problem with getting through the Habana hole. And, I mean, that might have been a big problem for them there, but, you know, you have to be ready to adapt to those things, because guess what? Your strategy is never going to work out exactly how you want it to anyways. But it just came down to time. Their inability to take the garage early with Glaz is what set them back. Yeah, they were eventually able to take Karjeka down, but you saw they had to open up below him. They had to commit so many resources to being able to fight the garage. That's what burned up all the time. But kudos to them on getting the wall open early, at least. That was something that worked out. Had they been able to take down Karjeka earlier, I think that absolutely could have been a secret round. Just... and unfortunately, just comes down to time. I did like the hole they had, or the rotation they had set up with the deployable shield to kind of help fight from Garage a little bit better. It was just Karjeka wasn't able to live through that, and well, he can only fight so many angles at once anyways. We'll see how things go, though, with the Glaz push down here on to the church. This should be interesting because it is definitely, you know, there's some different ways to play it, but we could even see the old school Glaz through Dirt Tunnel or through Blue, something you don't see too often anymore.
Yeah, just because Glaz has been such a big ban on this map. Now, I want to contrast 2 different play styles. If you guys have watched North America, only a couple of days of play day, well, the second play day of this week. I don't want to call numbers at this point. Jaeger was banned. That was Space Station's match against Dark Zero. And what had happened is that since Jaeger was banned, Space Station completely let go of Blue and reinforced the entirety of the walls there. Because usually, if you want to play in Blue, you need to have a Jaeger, because grenades are going to be plenty fired at him to try and shut him down, and also you have rotation holes behind him. So you have to be very careful how you set up here.
I can imagine next season that there is the possibility to defend that hatch in Blue, because you're going to be able to electrify it. So there is, you know, we could see, depending on whether or not Thatcher's being played, you know, that being a thing, but it looks like they are actually kind of stacking up in the Dirt Tunnel, potentially.
Now, Lackey's just going to come in to the stock room, and he's not going to find anyone just yet. The blue stairs that have been a huge addition to the map are being held by Joystick, who usually maneuvers around the map like a speed beam.
Unfortunately, this is a bomb site where that becomes a bit more difficult, because you tend to have to be somewhat sacrificial with your ability to play roam, because you're probably not going to live the entire time. And Joystick usually plays a little bit better being flexible, but he can still be flexible a bit downstairs in terms of being able to rotate around through the armory, move around Arsenal, move around into Blue as needed, because like you said, that's where Jaeger shines a bit, is in Blue. So we'll see if that works out. But at least they have a pulse here. Fortunately, that won't tell them that it's Glaz coming down those stairs. Looks like they are actually setting up to potentially come down the main stairs instead of Dirt. And Impact Trick there is going to destroy those X-Kairos from the looks of it. So again, they're going to try. See if he has another impact for it, and he does.
That's not going to be enough. Back in the day,
hole, but
yeah, exactly. Back in the day, it would have destroyed the whole thing.
This is definitely a lot of dedication to this hatch, and well, you only get 2 impact nades, but you get 3 X-Kairo shots, so it did eventually work, but that was at great cost, and well, having 2 hard breachers there paying off for Secret.
Now, I'd imagine that, actually, let's check the hatches if they're open or not, if it's possible in just a second here.
Yeah, I believe we saw stock open.
Yeah. So this is kitchen,
earlier.
and the one here, and stock is reinforced. So Blue is going to be much safer for the Jaeger playing in there.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they may have another thermite charge if they want to use it on, but it's a big gamble.
That's the thing. Do you use it on Church or not? And I love the reinforcement on the hallway wall. Thank you very much. Mipi will find yet another one, and Karjeka gets shot down by Leon. It doesn't even, they don't even need those hatches to be open. 33 seconds on the clock, and Secret are at the helm. Shepherd will chuck in a gas canister all the way around, and the Habana will get shot down to Mipi. But there's no problem. The Habana can't really do much at this point. Her job was already secured. Shepherd still has 2 remote gas nades as he tries to fight into the armory. He can't find the angle in the glass just yet. Alem's taking a bit of damage. The Maestro will try to move in as well from the opposite end of the map. More angles being opened up by the smoke as they try to force the glass into a position where they can fight him. But Lackey on the opposite end will find it. Lem somehow takes no damage actually from that, and Shepard will go down. Team Secret, I love how that sight at the end just went on its own. It's like, deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, puts on the shades, deal with it. That's
nicely done. It was the problem with fighting the Glaz like that is even when he opened up the other angle, right, with the shotgun, the thing is, because of the way you're highlighted, Glaz is most likely going to see you before you can even see him. Or if you're even thinking about it and kind of peeking close to it, that little bit of yellow, you saw him even start to open, whether it was intentionally to open the wall or just to take shots where he might be, started opening up the part next to it as well, which was going to expose Spoke's position even more. And unfortunately, while the SMG is a fantastic weapon, it runs out of ammo very quickly, and you saw how often he had to reload between shots to try and pick that Glaz, and it was just down to hoping one of those sprays was going to hit the head. Never really did, so despite the frustrations of getting the hatch open, the 3x Kairos seemingly worth it, because eventually they were able to use that hatch to get down into Arsenal. And that was it. So they're going to try again, though. This is the second attempt at Church. They were able to at least defend Cash. But if they win Church here, I imagine that's where they're going to go back to. So we'll see how things go for them this time. They are going to be hopefully defending as best they can that hatch again, because that wasn't the worst idea, to make sure that you at least impact twice.
Yeah.
There's not a ton you can do about it. I mean, it's coming down to if they have the right angle on where you hit the metal shelf there. I mean, you only have to get so many of the X-Kairos, and you can't exactly put the X-Kairos on the floor like next to it, because they will bounce off hard surfaces. If it was a soft surface, maybe. But because they bounce off the hard surfaces, that leaves you in a tough spot, right? Because you have to get all of them on there to make sure they could potentially sustain some kind of impact nade, and then that just puts them in an impact nade position. So I mean, well played and well practiced, though, from Empire to be ready to do that consistently. Yeah,
and hitting it consistently, because you only get 2 shots, right? Yeah. So it's not as easy as you'd think it would be, just because you're not always sure of where the X-Kairos angle is, and you need to bounce it on really the top edge of the floor to destroy those X-Kairos, because you saw there was only one left at some point, and it only opened up a hole, and that's something you really have to think
you need 4, so good luck against any decent impact nade. But it's surprising how often that it isn't done by teams in terms of impacting that, because there usually is a Legion with those available. Interestingly, though, I was mentioning Vigil earlier, and that is something Karjeka is going to be bringing this time. Will he be doing it with a roam play, or just making sure they don't have an idea where he is on site? Because it doesn't do a ton for you on site itself. Could help you playing in the periphery a little bit, but I mean, realistically, you're only denying really one position, and you're not able to get any kind of flank. Can be useful if you're playing in blue, though, because then they do have to watch blue to make sure that you don't come up those stairs on them. But that's what Lackey is doing here.
Yep.
He's making sure to secure that, and that is going to be a problem for them. Thankfully, the ADS at least doing some work to hold things off.
I'm not sure he was trying to deal with the ADSs and clear them with that, with the Gashmots, just because, man, you only have 2 of those now.
Yeah.
You can't just, you know, it's not like back in the day where you could throw just 4 back, or 2 of them just back and find it, and Leon's gonna find the kill. And this is now a bit problematic, because all the rotation holes were set up in a way for the Jaeger to fight. Now, fortunately, is going to play against you, because you know what, Devin? Those holes, they work both ways.
Absolutely. And the cameras could work both ways if he's able to get down and hack Joystick's phone as well to be able to see through the evil eyes.
There is the glass as well in the back, and the extra smokes that allow the glass to move in. Scyther will get, well, scythed in this one. Should at least find one on Leon, but in the meantime, Stizzy just walks right in through by the main hallway and finds 1 kill. Shepard will refrag to make it 3v2, but the advantage still held by Team Secret, and it's no secret that Empire will have a hard time moving through this. Now, there are Maestro cameras that can be used to give information on the position of the last 2 players of Team Secret, but Shepard will get 1 on the lens. The shotgun to making it work up close. But how do you defend this? You play behind the black box, and that black box, you cannot do damage to people through it, unlike the bar, and that's why people will sit through there. But the smoke is perfectly timed. They'll get 1 kill. Stizzy unfortunately has no more ammunition, no exothermic charge. He'll have to move in, and the Gooman will slow him down just a bit more. He'll find the kill on Shepard. Still 1 more available. Can he go for the fight? And Stizzy will clutch it again! The thermite finds the last 2. Advantage all for Team Secret. Goes the way of Empire, and yet again, Stizzy, star player on the squad, he'll find the kill, even behind the black box.
I mean, it's unfortunate. The smoke is just not always able to land those SMG-11 shots, and that's twice now we've seen that be a problem for him. I mean, he was able to get the one behind the boxes first, but then trying to play that position himself, fell prey to pretty much the same thing, other than this time it wasn't due to some smoke helping with that. But either way, that felt like checklist-style play from Secret. They kind of had, we need to get this position, then we need to get this position. We're seeing that. We saw the previous round as well. They have their objectives, and they are executing on them. You saw that with the pressure that they put on the Joystick, for example. They had Zofia on the stairs to blue, then they had the Dokkaebi on the hatch, making sure that if he tried to rotate away to be able to get out, that's when he got picked off, when he went back to that rotate hole. And that was just that coordination. Okay, now we've got blue secured. Now we're going to smoke it. Now we're going to take control of blue. That's going to help us execute onto the actual church. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Pushed on in, got the plant. They did lose a few gunfights, to be fair. They weren't able to always execute on everything. But the fact that they had the glass meant that they could work the smoke in their favor.
That's why you bring the Dokkaebi.
Exactly. And that's absolutely what worked. I mean, had they lost some of the critical components early on, they might not have been able to play it the same way that they did in terms of that kind of checklist of things. And that's what Empire maybe needs to be doing, is getting some early picks on the Secret to disable their ability to move forward. And you saw that in the first round that they won, where they were able to get the glass kill, and that stumped their ability to get Garage early on. So that is really what Empire needs to be doing on these defenses. And you're going to see the dock come out from Karjeka again. Maybe him or Scyther can find one of those long angle shots to pick someone off early. And in this case, maybe it would be good to pick off Leon early if you can. I mean, that's always a good thing to say. But yeah, in this case, taking down Leon's smoke is going to make it so Lems has to smoke for himself. And that's a little bit of a tougher spot to be in when it comes to a plant scenario, because he's usually going to be using his smokes early on to go for kills.
Yeah, and usually you leave the Dokkaebi for later on, just to have the extra flexibility.
Yeah.
If you want to go for a site take, or if you're defending the diffuser, etc. There's many ways of setting it up, and of course having the 4 smokes definitely gives you the flexibility. Though, what do you lose by playing the Dokkaebi? You lose the buck.
Yeah.
So now one thing you might have to worry about is, hey, we can't really destroy the floorboard above unless we sacrifice lifelines. And now, do we really want that? This is kind of the thing that you have to keep in the back of your head. Oh.
Well, Leon's going to find one through the little hole in the hatch already. That's a good start. Joystick again. That spot just not working out for him, despite that not even being the bomb site this time.
Just the Jaeger trying to play from below, as you saw Joystick moving in and out of the blue stairs quite a few times. Now, Shockwave's going to get hit by a concussion, as Shepard will go up top here and try to find maybe a head to shoot downstairs, but no opportunity of such will be presented. Lems just so far sitting back and waiting, advantage for Team Secret, and they'll have to take down those bandit batteries before they move in. Now it looks like the push will focus mostly on the garage, and Karjeka will have to deal with it on his own, because you combo that with Lackey Zofia, Karjeka might not be alive here for too long.
Definitely was a problem for him last time, and he's not fighting the early. That was a really risky move, and it still gets punished, even though it wasn't by Karjeka.
They opened the wall, but then didn't have a follow-up, and Shockwave, the follow-up kill here on Lackey. Team Empire are finding the angles that Secret are kind of just giving to them.
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, they're so focused on taking Karjeka down, and they weren't even able to get enough of a shot there, or enough damage, and guess who's going to heal himself? Karjeka.
Shepard still has a few shots in the... Oh, no. Oh, finally.
Those yellow highlights not working out for Karjeka.
Karjeka will finally get shot down, and that is
you asked me which player I wanted to highlight. There it was.
Oh,
wow,
no, Shockwave again!
I said he has his moments, and this is certainly one of them.
Definitely a shocker here. Leon will find one on Shepard, turning it into a 2 versus 2, but Scyther still has a ton of munitions in his box. Now, will Scyther push into the Dokkaebi? That remains to be seen. He can just peek into it. Oh, no, there you go. You gotta watch out for that drone hole. The smoke has definitely slowed things down, but they'll push in. Habana will go down, and that's the diffuser. That's all on in. 6 seconds left. Leon will have to fight, and so little health remaining. Scyther, all he needed was the bullet, and that's what he had. Leon will go down, and Empire to tie it up 2-2.
Well, so far they've only been able to consistently win cash. So obviously they would play cash more, but because they won it the first round, they had to play a different site twice, or I mean 2 different sites or whatever, for 2 rounds basically. So they played Church twice, couldn't win it either time, but now that they've won cash again, they're going to try Church one more time. So this tells me their gym bedroom is certainly not as confident as they would like, because Church has not been working out. And I think part of it is really just, again, Joystick not being able to hold Blue, they might need to come up with a different strategy to be able to play that because it's really been not working out for them, as well as their inability to deny Kitchen Hatch no matter what. It might be a case where they consider bringing impacts on the smoke as well to make sure that they can outdo the X-Kairos.
That's actually a very good point. Just because, well, you say that, but then again, Team Secret even with not having the buck, they were still able to do quite a bit of work just destroying the floorboards and fighting kills on top of it because of caliber-based destruction. You're bringing the Dokkaebi, you're bringing the Glaz. Those are
unfortunately, Dokkaebi's caliber-based destruction is like worse than most pistols.
With the SMG-12, sure.
No, I mean with the DMR. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's mysterious. It takes like 2 whole clips, it seems, just to open a wooden barricade. It's embarrassingly weird with the
same with the SR-25, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Glazes, though, absolutely. That is a DMR that just, it's like Buck's shotgun sometimes. It just opens up walls, and that is, I mean, obviously something that really benefits him in his ability to spot players behind it. But like you said, there is that Glaz to be able to do that through the floor. But, you know, like I said, they could still go with that double impacts, and it's certainly not bad to have those impacts, although barbed wires are stronger now than they had been, you know, previously, because they did go back up to slowing people down as much. They just take less hits to hit. So it's, you know, it is a little bit stronger to bring barbed wire on smoke than it used to be in some ways. So I can understand why you might not want to bring impacts on him, but
definitely something that you can do.
This is a map where there's a lot of areas where that does kind of work out for you, but not as much as there used to be. Joystick, though, on a very dangerous roam. Now he's droned out. Guess what? No escape here. He's going to have to make the long run back, and they should be able to pitch him, but guess who's backing him up?
Oh, Kajeka's ready. Always shadowing his Jaeger here, Joystick, and it really is shadowing. They're always close to one another. You can see how all of this sort of information rallies very well between them now. Will Joystick be able to win this one? Yes! He finds it. Meepy goes down and instantly getting tapped. Big advantage now for Team Empire as they completely forego their style of, you know what, let's just stick around the site to instead cause a lot of harm to Team Secret on the roam.
Well, that's Joystick's strength. Unfortunately, he's going to get punished for it, but it's, you know, it's too little too late. You lost your important hatch breacher to be able to safely breach the floor of kitchen, so now that's disabled. You lost your smokes for an actual plant, other than the ones from Glaz, who now, you know, has to consider whether or not he uses those for kills. He might have even already used one. It is a tough spot to be in. It was absolutely worth it. Kajeka playing the Vigil much better this time because of his ability to back up his teammate and even successfully rotate back without getting cut off the site. This is going to be very difficult with this last minute left because, well, they don't have anything open. I can't see Secret winning this unless they're just phenomenal on their gunfights.
Or Empire really mess things up.
Yeah.
Which kind of, you need both at this point if you're Secret. Will this turn into a tunnel push? Yes.
I mean, it kind of has to. They can't open the hatch safely. They got the one hatch they could open safely because it was a hard floor. Going for the other one, this is going to have to be even a Glaz just smoke push with 2 smokes only.
And there's Shepard that's playing the smoke.
Yeah, he's got 3. So good luck.
And he's playing inside, so which means he's going to start with his first remote gas nade. That's the first one's going to slow LMs down. There's also goo mines. There's little time left, which means that everything is going Empire's way. And Stizzy dropping into oil pit takes way too much damage. The shotgun from Shepard will drop LMs in the back. Diffuser's in the hands, well, no longer in the hands of one, and Kajeka will find the last one, the 3K from the Team Empire player here. Was all that was required. You see the Maestro camera next to him as well that was feeding information if it had actually been needed, because in this case, it was not.
Yeah. Well, that was absolutely a round where Empire finally played to their strengths on roam, because both those players are very good on the roam, especially Joystick. But you know, he's just not good when you cage him into a tiny spot like that. He is a very fluid, flexible player. You stick him into a small spot like Blue, where there's limited angles of movement, where he can't be shot. Throw a crossfire on it, and guess what? He's dying consistently. Put him upstairs. It is a suicide mission, like I said, and that's absolutely what happened. But he brought the backup and made sure the trades happened and took out the important players who thought it was safe because they were upstairs.
And not just, you mentioned the backup. Kajeka always shadowing Joystick, and that was what was required in this situation. You said you took out the important players. The Dokkaebi was down because of the Vigil, and then after that you take down the Havana and Garage. Beautiful play.
Yeah, and that was them finally winning both their bomb site, which now sends them to that gym bedroom that I was saying they might be a little bit nervous about. So we'll see how they play that. We are going to see the alibi play, which is something we do see very commonly on this site, especially from players like KS. But Kajeka also plays a fair amount of alibi. So no surprises there. But we'll see. Will he go for kind of a roam play or just play it a bit more on site? As you've mentioned before, those Prismas are useful on site, but that doesn't mean you can or can't roam. You can just kind of play it however you're comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But with Joystick in play, it definitely makes it so you're going to at least have one player who could potentially be down all the way in the map. We saw last time when he got killed all the way down in the basement, he is willing to play all the way down there. That's going to be a little bit more predictable this time. If you're Secret, you're thinking, okay, we need to clear bottom up to section Joystick out, but this certainly doesn't guarantee you'll succeed at doing that.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued how this will go for Empire. Again, you know, you mentioned the Alibi. Alibi is one of, in my opinion, one of the most flexible operators on defense. You can run her in really a lot of different situations. I want to compare her to the Legion, and I usually do, just because I believe that they're side grades to one another. You know, they do similar things by giving you information, but they do them in different ways. And of course, this is the definition of a side grade. However, the Alibi can also roam around without having to worry about recharges, just like you see with the goo mines. Now, these walls have all been reinforced by the defense, so Mipi will have to use his Habana efficiently here. Actually, all three excites have already been used up, and the impact grenades, I'm not sure, no, you can't do anything when the Habana is playing it from below. That's exactly why you bring the Habana and don't use the Thermite in this case.
Yeah, the double hard breach is really just making sure they can do whatever they need to do.
It's just extra flexibility, basically. And you see Shock even playing in construction. He should be able to spot the footprints here. As Karajeka is still fighting on his own. Guzmots have gone out. You see Alem's walking in. Thermite will open an extra angle. Karajeka will opt to fight and lose to Stizzy. Joystick is downstairs, though. Will this mean that he will pounce on his opponent? We'll just have to see. Half the round has already been drawn out. Stizzy's low on health, but still available to be reset. Definitely something that's possible. But look at Shepard's as well, playing in the trading room, so he can use that to assault into construction, but because of the soft wall, has to worry about potential pushes from his opponents by the hatch and that wall, and you see the reset. Stizzy is back on 50%.
I gotta say though, Karajeka did an excellent job of making them use a lot of resources in 2 minutes of time just to get control of the cache server side. Because of doing that, now it's up to the rest of the players, but they're in a much better position because the time pressure is gonna give Joystick an advantage, because guess what, you cannot clear him out at this point unless he makes a mistake because you don't have the time to.
Shepard will chuck in his second remote gas canister as time is winding down. 40 seconds on the clock, advantage still for Team Secret just because of this site. As long as the diffuser does not get set, Empire have control. And that's the big deal with Jim and Bedroom. Once it is set, however, the attackers should have control. The smoke has been thrown in, and Shepard will equalize the manpower. Joystick will find in another one, but Mipi is already inside of the bathroom. Stizzy will go for the plant, but Joystick either will get one of their own. Stizzy last man alive. He's clutched it before. He's at 50% health. We'll find another one. Shepard to get taken out. Joystick suddenly the last man alive at low health. 1 versus 1. 2 bullets is all that they'll require. As you see the Thermite rotating into the bathroom. Information has been given to Joystick. He'll play inside of the shower. Cannot see the end of that 5-5-6. Now Joystick is concerned. He doesn't really know where his opponent is. Was he going to go for the fight? Yes, he will. He'll win it. Stizzy will go down, and Joystick should have the time to go through this. A beautiful clutch. And Joystick, the game sense, it wasn't present 2 days ago. He got shot out of the building on border. Here, definitely present.
And that's the thing is, I mean, Jaeger's already a very swift defender in that he's got the speed, he's got the gun power. But if you've got the skill on top of it, like Joystick brings, holding an angle like that without a shotgun, I mean, you almost needed Thermite shotgun at that point to be able to defend against him, just to have the reflexes, because we've seen a couple times now, he has the reflexes for it. I feel like some of that, his ability to move around, also contributes to resources. One of those to reflexes. It's one of those subtle things where when you get the fluidity of movement, the ability to kind of move around freely and play the way you kind of want to play, that actually improves your ability to have your reflexes as well, because it's just a fluid mental thing where you're able to kind of feel flexible. It's a weird sort of thing, but I think that's really contributing to his ability to have those reflexes, because we're seeing it every time he's able to play that roam. He's on top of that, winning those fights, but still, credit to Stizzy for really trying on that one. He did get the diffuser down. He defended it very well. Unfortunately, the shower, while it was a smart play in that they were not able to get the information on him, at some point, he was going to figure out where he was at. And good job on Joystick narrowing it down. But things switched now sides. Empire coming out with a very strong defense, but that is really not a surprise. for Clubhouse, right? Are we surprised? No.
No, not at all.
But they won all three. They won all 3 bomb sites and cashed twice. So that was still a pretty good position to be in. We'll see if Secret can replicate it, because Secret were very coordinated on a lot of their attacks, but it's hard to say how the defense will be. Because again, Joystick struggling on that Jackal a lot of times. If he can pick it up on that, I feel like that could be a big boon to Empire. They're also going to be bringing the double Heart Breacher.
Yeah, and this is one of the maps. Like, we talk about Clubhouse, we talk about Bank, 2 maps that, hey, if you have access to 2 Heart Breachers, especially Thermite and Habana, you should probably bring them. Yeah. What's interesting about the defense is that actually Secret set up quite a bit of utility on the top floor here in the bar, which means they're going to have less to use downstairs. Shockwave, just because he knows he has some redundant charges, having the Habana on the squad as well, can use the exothermic charge just in case, early on, directly onto the tunnel.
In some ways, that is a little dangerous of a gamble, in the sense that if you do it too early and Habana has not opened any hatches yet, and Habana then dies, you do leave yourself in a little bit of a tough spot in having to decide, which we saw happen to Secret on their attack.
Of course, you have the 3 hatches here, and you mentioned Secret on their half. The biggest part of it was the fact that the impact tricking was well done. Bandit's going to get spotted, and I'm not sure if he's roaming around. We saw Alems playing on... Oh, there you go. He is roaming, so they will know where he is and can keep tabs on him.
Still 2 batteries in pocket as well, and there's a Thatcher, so if they can get this kill onto Bandit, Church Wall should be very easy.
Yeah, no C4 as well.
Nope. Well, he does manage to get back to site from the looks of it, so unfortunately, despite the Jackal tracking, that is at least going to help clear things out. So that's not the worst situation, and Thatcher should still be able to do his job somewhat, but some damage there onto Shockwave.
Quite a bit done to Alems as well, as he'll dive on down. Unfortunately for Team Secret, they don't have a dock, but depending on how they feel, they can definitely go for the reset here. Not sure if they should do that with the Deagle. No, they have the MPX, which through the wall is just still 9mm, so it's going to do a tiny bit of damage. More than enough to pick Alems back up very quickly. Put him on 50%. Goo Mines are going to do a bit of damage, give a bit of information, but nothing really too important so far. Shepard, though, I want to highlight this. Many Zofias will bring the Claymore. I'm a bigger proponent when it comes to Pro League play, bringing the breaching charges.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because you usually see Scyther being the one on the Zofia, so it's, switching players and loadouts.
Yeah, it's definitely a flexibility thing.
Oh no!
How did? Wait, what?
He might have taken shockwire damage, actually.
He got shot by Meepy, possibly.
He's appropriately named it. Yeah, that's probably the case there. There's the impact tricking again, so you see it in action.
He just bounces it on the bottom of the kitchen. No, the wall is soft right next to it. That's why he got shot by the bandit inside. Odd. Ooh. Shockwave will inhale more of the smoke, as it's not fully rendered, at least on our side of the spectator. Joystick still playing with the PDW9. He's one of the few people that actually run the SMG or the carbine instead of the regular C7E assault rifle, just because he wants to have more ammunition in the magazine. It's definitely just a choice. Now, will they go for the push? Scyther will find one. That's the entry that they required. He'll get another one, but BP will take down Scyther. Shotgun to the face from Sizzy onto Joystick. Shepard has penetrated into the site. He'll have to deal with any bandit batteries in the back. Actually, spring through the wall will drop Stizzy. Kajeka will take no damage there in the back somehow from the smoke. Okay, and Shepard is going to play behind the black box just to conserve the limited health that he has right here. The Valkyrie shooting in the back. Shepard will try to anticipate the position. Kajeka will take a bit through the bar. Shockwave with one on Meepy. And now 3 players. So low on health for Team Empire. If only there was an extra smoke. Lackey will find one. That's the headshot. Stizzy with another one. 2v1 now. Advantage for Secret. But they're all low on health. Shockwave will have to defend this as time is ticking away. And the shotgun will come in from behind. Stizzy will win it all out. And he'll be able to destroy the diffuser here. It's going to be very close, but should have more than enough time at the end with 1 extra second. And no! Oh, no! The attacking side will take it!
Well done, Shock.
He got the kill! He got the kill, but his teammate was not running towards the... Oh.
That's why, I mean, that's why it was smart of Shockwave to play further from the bomb, because of course they're going to try and kill people that are on the diffuser first. So, well done.
Man.
Well done. That puts Empire dangerously close to that match point.
Heartbreaking for Secret here, because, you know, the wins on the attack when taking Church are very nice. If you can get them and get them in droves, then that's exactly what you'd like to have, as CCTV and Cash will be the second site that Secret will opt to.
I mean, to be fair, Empire really struggled on Church as well. So it's not the worst position to be in, but you've got to win those cash defenses the way that Empire did. But in this case, with being such a point deficit, you kind of got to win everything, really, to kind of come back on this. Stizzy kind of carrying his team through those 2 wins with 10 kills. I mean, you hate to see that many kills on the board in that few rounds. I mean, you even saw an example of why last round, that despite all the kills, they still could not manage to win the round because that's not the objective, right?
I think Rampy is getting the shakes right now. 22 kills on the map. Even though it's the new format with extra rounds, still, 22 kills is the ultimate
in a match where they lost.
In the match that they lost, indeed.
That was the ultimate proof of kills aren't everything.
Exactly. Right there. Yeah. If that doesn't really cement it in your mind, nothing.
Rampy made sure you understand.
Thank you for your sacrifice. We salute you.
Yeah. Well, they are going to have to go for another push on the wall. They are also bringing, again, the redundant hard breachers to make sure. But the difference is they bring a Thatcher to make sure that they could do something to deal with these batteries rather than having to go below. But they also have that same utility to go below because they're not depending on the Glaz the way Secret did on their attacks. We'll see, though, if the Pulse could be a problem for them. Pulse is usually going to be the one to be playing down in that lounge to help make sure that they're not able to get control from below, but also to be there to see for a potential plant later on. So they just may forego that altogether, get this wall open and say, you know what, we're just going to try and deal with the Pulse later on.
It's odd design to have a lounge next to the garage and, you know, a stock room. And
a lot of people here are drinking, so maybe not the most thought put in, but Joystick, unfortunately, maybe he should switch off the PDW. I gotta say.
Karzeka, well done. The refrag. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Like,
he did lose half his health, but taking out Maestro, nicely done.
That's pretty huge. I'm not sure if Leon had already preset his Evil Eyes in the correct positions. I know that he put both of them, but it depends on... Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay. He has one, but unfortunately that one is pretty much redundant. It's only going to give you information when things are a bit too late. Shockwave's going to start opening up on the opposite end here. Will the Bandit be able to make it? No, Scyther is just going to find the kill on him, so that's a freebie.
There is one Evil Eye that looked like it was disabled as well from the Thatcher, so they might have even wanted to save one more Thatcher to be able to disable the Evil Eye, for the smoke plant, so it cannot see through the smoke.
There's none.
So unfortunately, that is not going to work out. They disable it in situations where it didn't matter, but a nice angle play there from Shepard's going to take down Stizzy, who's been, the top fragger at the moment for Secret. So this is looking very strong for Empire to put it on that match point.
Good mind right on the doorway here as, well, actually, the fashioned doorway.
The improvised
doorway. Meepy's going to look for the ballsy play here as he goes up, but unfortunately the Claymore is more than enough to clean him up. Lackey is the last man alive, and really in that situation, your 2v4 time is run is still in like huge droves for Team Empire. You got to make the ballsy plays. Scyther goes down, but he's already done the work. The EMPs were no longer present. Still Nitro Cell though for Lackey. And they know he's going to try to maneuver around the lounge to potentially go for a C4 play, but the diffuser's already been set, and now that's a complicated position. How does he go for the retake? C4 can't even use that because why? That wall is reinforced. C4 is going to get thrown up the stairs. Nobody on the call. And he's going to get shot from the side. Bit of damage done here to Shockwave. Well, it's going to be the one who finishes it all off. Empire now on match point.
Looking pretty good for Empire here. This is not Secret we were hoping to see, not the Secret that we saw beat G2. They are definitely struggling. Empire just seeming on point. I mean, again, I still either Joystick's going to need to find a new op, or he's going to have to switch off that PDW. He, like you mentioned, he's one of the few running the PDW, but he's also probably, and I don't mean this in the meanest way, but probably one of the worst Jackals in terms of at least staying alive and getting kills and doing, getting more than one ping that I've seen. It's harsh, but
it's real.
Most likely factual. I want to say most likely because I don't have the stats to prove that, but it's just from what I've seen, he is often the first to die, and Jackal's job isn't to stick his head in right away, it's to stick his head in after other people have gotten in there. But either way, he's going to continue to do so as they must feel that's a critical role to the team.
One would say that if only there was an operator that Joystick could use that's a 3-speed, has a really great gun. And
he's got to plan on it being banned, though. He's got to have a better backup.
I'll just play Jackal.
Put him on Maverick. He's a 3-speed, Like, I don't know, he's banned too. You can't do it this round, but I mean, in general.
10 seconds left before
yeah.
insertion.
One of the stallions, Jackal being the other.
Put him on Capitao. Capitao's a 3-speed. The gun, maybe not...
it's a good tap fire weapon. It definitely doesn't allow you to peek into people just like the R4C.
It's not the quickest now. It definitely suffers. Put him on IQ. I've said that before, and I still think he can still track some things, just not living things. Still.
Actually, he can track the pulse.
That's true.
And people when they're on their cameras.
Yeah, that's true. There is... All right.
There we go. Point proven.
Why is he not playing IQ? it's the low IQ plays.
Whoa.
No. But again, proving my point. Thank you, Leon, for cementing that.
Okay. Karzeka's like, okay, well, I lost him.
Yep.
What do I do now?
What you do every round, because that always happens.
Well, we'll see if the refrag can happen. It's been an important part for Empire's strategy to at least find the kill right after they lose one of their players.
Even if they lose this round, though, they stay on match point for quite a while. So, and at the very least, they've guaranteed 1 point, helping keep themselves towards the top of the leaderboard.
Okay, Shepard will set up the breaching charge as well here on the castle barricade and the construction, take it out. Again, I highly recommend you try out the Zofia with the breaching charge just on a map like Coastline and here, just in case you're going to play again, even on Bank actually. And there's a lot of maps that have a lot of soft destruction. Bring that extra bit as well in the Zofia. Make her even better than how she already is.
Well, they seem to be stalling out quite a bit on this attack here, and I mean that's not going to be due to Joystick dying necessarily because he wasn't bringing a utility to start opening these things up. They have the Thatcher though; they are setting up to be able to make this attack happen, but so slow in doing so. Look how many people are playing this bedroom to hold this. Let's see if Bandit can trick this.
He's gonna trick the other side.
Yeah, unfortunate. That's ADS absolutely doing its job, and that's going to telegraph.
And the Zofia should have already destroyed this. We used to talk about this when this was the hallway of death, when it was easily held actually by the defenders, but Shepard has the utility to clear it out.
Well, Shockwave still not able to open this wall. This is really going to be a problem. This is where usually the Hibana would do a decent job as well to help with that, to be able to open up the ground level, just because it could be a little harder to trick that sometimes.
No more lifelines, because even though with the breaching charges, there were not enough, and the Thermite should have used his flashbangs if he had any. I'm not sure if he had. Can we check out Shockwave for just a second here on the Thermite? He was playing Claymore, so he couldn't really deal with the ADSs in the back, and Shepard wasn't able to do much. So now the entire attack has to funnel its way in through the bedroom and through the gym. And usually not a great position for you to be in if you're on the attack. Smoke will get thrown in at the 20-second mark. Stizzy should have one more, possibly. Karshika was not able to use any of his X-Kairos. We'll have to dive in. Stizzy will find kill number 1 on Shepard. 3 alive still for a Russian squad of Team Empires. They cannot find a single kill. I say that. Either we'll get one, but will it be enough? Don't think it will. Karshika. Too slow. We'll lose that just on time. Well done by Secret there. Just play their advantage. He couldn't have planted on top of the bed, which sometimes is a safe spot, but he needed to plant in
a spot he couldn't be shot, basically.
Yeah, and well, there was already a player in the trading room, and yeah, you're not going to be able to do much with it.
I gotta imagine just Empire have not really practiced that take, because nothing about that was new. That defense. That was the standard way of defending that. Yeah. You set up the castles, you set up the ADSs to be able to absorb things, you set up the deployable shield. And, I mean, it can be a case where they were just anticipating another attempt at cash and thinking, okay, we bring the utility for that. But that, again, is that's where the utility starts to matter. So you have a lot of times the Thermite with the flashbangs. So he can be able to clear ADSs for you, because they had to use Zofia to do that, left them unable to take care of the deployable shield. If you cannot take care of the deployable shield, you see exactly what happens, and it just came down to, realistically, Secret won on utility.
Very true.
That is unfortunate for Empire, but guess what? That means they can't play that bomb site again. So being on match point as it is, they probably won't have to worry about that being a problem in the future for the rest of this match. So they have successfully attacked this before, and definitely plausible they could potentially do it again. But really, let's hopefully see Joystick live a little bit longer. Interesting to see, though, the castle barricades coming up to slow down the push here. Will they be playing in here, or just using this to kind of make them have to clear it a bit more aggressively? Hard to say, but he is really sectioning off the bar. This might be a fight or die kind of situation.
We saw it before.
Yeah. Oh, the timing there. Almost, that probably would have caught him in the head as well because you saw the angle going upwards. Now he cannot safely rotate without peeking it, making sure it's safe. This is a dangerous game Lems is playing.
Yeah, I think he just has to fall back.
Maybe he needed that one castle barricaded. Honestly, that would have done him a little bit more good at the moment.
Well, Team Secret, of course, the only way for them to get a point at the end of this day is the 1 point. Scyther will protect his teammate below as Leon will go down. Only a bit of damage here done to Karjika, around 30 health. But that's really all that Empire required. You know, they take out Leon, has been an instrumental part of the team. No, Labs, oh, he'll find it. There you go. Redeemed, and again, Joystick, the first one to fall.
It's not working out.
No.
I'm sorry.
Gotta find another operator.
You're amazing on Jaeger, but just...
And Ash.
Yeah. Pick a different J operator. Jaeger, Jackal, just Jaeger. No. Though this roam seems to be working. Jash, it's working though. He's able to stay, you know, meaning a Lems, able to stay upstairs. And Shockwave, you know, what resources are they going to use? They're going to have to use at this point X Kairos and Zophia's. There we go, though. That's definitely going to help. But he gets down in the process of trying to fight that.
Unfortunate here for Team Secret, as even when they're able to get the down, it's not enough. And look at the amount of resources that they put on top here. It's just, this has all been shredded away from the actual site that you're defending on the church.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's also easy to take care of once you've killed everyone upstairs. It doesn't become so much of a problem, as you just saw from Karjeka. I mean, it wasted a little bit of time, and to be fair, at least they've burned up 2 minutes, but they're definitely at a good advantage. I like the impact nade, and that's the one time you can use that soft wall very effectively, is to be able to fight that angle.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it does require dedicating an impact nade to opening up that spot by hitting another spot. He does not see that there is someone right there right now, or he would be taking the shot. Potentially, nope. There might try and counter him. There we go. Nicely done. Now they're both about halfway health.
Just to try and tap through. Now, what the smoke did there by putting the charge on the floor, or his remote gas nade on the floor, is that this allows him to basically seep the smoke through the wall. It's kind of a glitch, but it's there. It's allowed. Stizzy will get one on a Shockwave. Karjeka looking in at the Habana, as down below the castle of LMs will just take him out. 10 seconds left. Lackey will find one. What is going on? Empire just suddenly lose all of their hold. The Lems will get shot down. Diffuser has to be set, but in the meantime, Secret are kind of afraid of what is to come. Shepard will get the diffuser down on the floor, as this now will allow his opponents to push it onto him, but Lackey will go down. The last one alive is the smoke on half health. Stizzy, he's clutched it before. Can he do it again? He's revealed himself through the hallway, and here we go. Shepard gets the shot. All that was required was the Zofia to hit those 2 headshots. You know, hey, just click the head. Well, that's exactly what they did. And that was Team Empire getting the 7-3 win on a round that started off super well for them, had no business in winning later on, and yet somehow they threaded.
Fantastic play by Empire, though. Even when they were down people, they were able to pull it off. But that's not to say there wasn't some valiant efforts by Secret, especially we saw from Stizzy. Alem's also making a good effort that round. Part of the problem I think we also ran into was that Leon just wasn't showing up to the same level that he sometimes does, and I don't like to put it all on one player, but when some of your star players aren't showing up, it does often lead to not scoring so often.
Very true. You can say that about G2 as well, between Pengo and Kanto when they played Secret on Villa, which is...
Well, you heard what the strategy was there. Shut down Kanto.
Yeah.
That was it. It just shut down Kanto as early as possible.
And
it worked at that time.
It proves it very well. Now, remind you guys that Team Empire are 1 game away from qualifying the 6th Invitational.
Ooh, so we may see them in Montreal as well?
Exactly. They have to play against Le Stream, and that matchup is set to go in around 3 days. Well, 2 days and 22 hours. So it's definitely a matchup to look forward to. In the meantime, the loser will play against Team Vitality because of how the slots are distributed for 6th Invitational. EU has won more events during the year, which allows EU to have extra 2 slots instead of only 1 like North America and APAC. We already know Mantis are coming from APAC, from Korea, which now means that Empire are just fighting for their spot to qualify. And if they win there, that's it. They're at Invitational. If not, they still have another shot against Vitality.
Well, it looks like you got a shot here in just a moment to ask Joystick about those Jackal plays.
I very much will do. Let's go to interview. Good evening. Joystick.
Hello.
Как дела?
I'm fine. It was a good game, but not for me.
Yeah, so, okay, let's start this off. Just so Emzo can rest easy and sleep for the night. At this point, you kind of have to face the fact everybody's going to ban Ashe against you. What's the point of playing the Jackal in the way that you're doing right now, especially when it's getting kind of obvious that without Karjeka shadowing you a lot of times, you're not really able to do much on the operator?
Yeah, I had Jackal, by the way, but they banned Ashe, but I always play Jackal on Club, and it's not unreal for me to play Jackal, but I really lost most fights in this game, and I don't feel my gun, I don't feel recoil, I just lose any fights, but my teammates win this game, and yeah, it was good.
It was very good. Now, a couple of rounds I want to talk about. First of all, in round number 5, you know, Empire, they had to, well, you guys were roaming on the top floor. You kind of saw that, okay, if we're just going to play on Church and play inside in very turtle defense, it's not going to really work out against Team Secret, who had your number a couple times. So what did you decide? You play the Vigil, you play the Jaeger, and you played them on the top floor. How was the communication between you and Karjeka? Because each one of you ended up getting important kills. The Dokkaebi being cleaned up by Karjeka with the Vigil, and of course you were able to find the Habana, the other hard breacher that Secret were kind of relying on.
We really play roam like 1 or 2 rounds, and we want to play safe. We want to play 1 round of aggression, and they need to check every room after this. And we play safe. We destroy every Hibana charge. We try to hold the time, and it works.
It definitely did work. It was a scary round for Team Secret. But another round, the Thermite clutch on Church. You guys were 3, there were 2. There was the Valkyrie and the Smoke still alive. You somehow went into Church, even though Team Secret were pulling a lot of utility on the top floor in the bar. You went in, you got the plant by Black Box. You're set up and ready, but you're low on health. So you get chipped down 1 by 1. 2v1, the Thermite's alive, and then wins it on time. How is things going on in that situation? Was it all game sense? Were there drones set up to give you information? Well, give the Thermite that information. Walk me through it, please.
Yeah, it was a really good situation. We have drones, we have all info, and I don't know what to say about this round and about the last round, because last round Shepard is beast.
Yeah, he very much is. There are times where, you know, as much teamwork as you might have, and might not be enough to win the round. It's just one guy that pops up and just kills everyone, right?
Yeah.
It definitely was entertaining to watch. That's for sure. And obviously the Thermite clutch and then the Zofia at the end were definitely two highlights of the match. Now you guys are potentially one game away from qualifying to 6 Invitational. This weekend you play against Le Stream, and even if you lose, you play against Vitality to see if you can qualify for Invitational again, as the team, well, back then were Factory with Red Groove, qualified as well for 6 Invitational 2018. Even though we're not doing this right now, how are your preparations for that match? Because if anything, that might just be the most important match of your career right now in 2019.
Yeah, we just try to find every game of the stream, try to outplay them, tactic, and we try to find our game. I hope it will be a really good show. It will be a best of 5. Yes, it will be hard.
Yeah, we'll see how things work out or not against Le Stream, as of course their lineup has definitely been causing a lot of problems for a lot of teams with Uno now on the squad. Well, to wrap this all up, anything you would like to say to the fans that have been watching this match and anticipating Empire's victory today against Secret?
Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for every words in Twitter, and thanks guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you very much, Spasiba, for the interview.
Spasiba.
Good luck, because tomorrow you are playing again before that 6 Invitational matchup this weekend. So, again, good night. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, good night you too. Bye.
Bye-bye. До свидания. Almost said Dovidzenia. Close. Anyways.
Close. So that seals the deal in terms of 3 for 3 for both Empire and Chaos now sitting at the top. Now, we always have these seasons time after time that are just dominated by G2 at the top, where they only even lose matches at the end when it doesn't really matter. This has been a very interesting start for
G2 lost the game. They're washed up. It's all done. There's no way they can win anything. That's basically how it turns into analysis. I remember in Rio, it's like, wait, they lost this one game and tied these other two. Yeah, but like...
But either way, this is a big shakeup. Having Chaos and Empire dominating like this, no one can catch up to them today. Like, they end week 3 just destroying everyone. Like, consistently 3 for 3 for both teams, yet to lose a match. And as you mentioned earlier, it's not like super close ones.
No.
It's been very dominant.
Just plowing through people. Chaos only really had a bit of a problem against Secret, but again, Secret are an excellent team and they have their kind of pedigree around it. But then plowing through everybody else. We saw ENS today and Mocket last week. So anyways, that was game number 2. We'll get to see what our next one has on offer, as the only team that was able to defeat G2 in Pro League Season 8, Penta Sports, will play against G2. And which team will Pengu play on? We'll just have to see. Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a bit. Penta v G2.